pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Public comment.
I'm just here if you have any questions.
Okay.
And do you want to mention what meeting is it? This is a COW meeting?
Oh, you want me to mention that?
Yeah.
I should probably, okay. This is the CAL meeting for February 26, 2024. And this is for basically discussion on plans for Cars Grove Tennis Pickleball Courts. All right, no public comment, so Chris, if you want to go ahead and.
Break it down.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got the plans back from Manik and Smith, and they gave us two alternatives. The only difference in the alternatives is going to be the way it's surfaced. There's alternative one, which it costs substantially more. After the subtotal and the contingency total, the total estimated cost would be $315,000. But that's to use what you call a tartan surface,
Yep.
which has the color in it. And talking with the engineer from Manik and Smith, says they're expected to last 20 plus years. And with alternative two, it would be with a painted surface. So you're using a court paint to put the color on, which costs about $50,000 less, but needs to be done anywhere from 1 to 5 years. The only thing they'll need to do with the tartan surface is the lines will need repainted every once in a while.
Yep.
So.
So wait, what was? And these are alternative options to what's the original? 'Cause I
That's
didn't see-
it. That's just
Okay, it's
alternative
one
one,
or two.
alternative
One
two.
or
Yeah.
two.
So you said it was about 265 instead of 315.
245
240.
instead of 315. So about a $60,000 difference.
70. Ah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
it. So never mind. Here's the
70.
page I don't have.
Oh.
He only had two, so.
No, actually, I have a whole stack of them.
Oh.
If you want them, I put a whole stack up there.
I saw the plans.
I
I went through
also-
this stuff. I didn't go through this. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, if you want to grab Andrew one too, because
Okay.
I have in here, I've underlined some things in the line items that could possibly be handled in-house by maintenance. I've talked a little bit with
Removals.
I've talked a little bit with the head of maintenance and a little bit with the supervisor's office about it. I'll need to further talk with them about it. But to remove the gate and the fence,
Yeah, like
the
the initial demo
the
stuff.
playground equipment, the exercise equipment back there, and to remove the pavement, I believe we could save about $19,870, no matter which alternative we go with,
Right.
in terms of using in-house. Because I feel the only thing that's would really end up costing would be removing the concrete with dumpsters, and then they don't necessarily have the equipment to break concrete up. So that's something I'd have to further talk with them about. If they're able to use concrete saws, we can rent one. We use them at my company all the time. We rent them. We clean cut the concrete into squares, and then we just fork it around with our loaders. It makes it easy, but that'll be up to, maintenance and the supervisor's office if they're gonna use that type of equipment.
So I see your adjusted totals.
Yep. So yeah, you can see my adjusted totals that I've written down next to the 315,000. It would bring it down to $295,130. And that total is also with the $40,965 contingency, which all that is if maybe you want to add some benches into the plans, or you want to add this. So that money isn't necessarily going to get spent. So,
This is the guy getting surprised with prices.
yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Going when we did this 2 years ago and we got rough numbers.
No.
So I
And
knew
this
where
is,
it
and we're
stood.
going way bigger too.
Right.
And adding fencing. This is with black vinyl coated fencing.
Okay.
So it would match the aluminum fencing in the front.
Yep.
And I figured if the township moves,
Long-term life of it.
yes, and I figured if the township moves forward with this project, they then can bid painting the rest of the fences that are left and just paint them all black. And then everything at the park will match. And then from there, the last thing left after this project in the park to be done would be the pavilion out here, which I'm hoping we can scrounge up the money in this, either what we have left in this budget or next year's budget, if I can't, to partner with the Lions Club if they're still interested in
Yeah.
donating to get that pavilion, the posts redone on it. So,
Break it down quick for you, Aaron. Two alternatives. Main differences are the actual surface coatings. You've got your rough total numbers from them. Chris went through and kind of underlined items that we could probably do in-house with our maintenance.
So
which will
about
cover-
70,000 less for the not as good.
Correct,
segments.
yep. Well, 1 to 5 year range of repainting and resurfacing versus about a 20+ year. And then, like I said, the underlying total next to it with our maintenance getting involved in the underlying line items of doing the removals and
so yeah,
stuff.
and if you look through your packet, you have two different pictures in there
Yep,
in terms of what it looks like now
yeah, with
and
that.
what it'll look like when it's done.
So it's a much larger area. One tennis,
So
6
it's,
pickleball.
essentially, it's taking the existing area now and turning that into 6 pickleball courts, expanding east and creating a tennis court to the east.
Where that
But keeping it all together in one
fence.
structure.
Yep.
So are we sure that the township board is behind this? And-
So,
That's
money
the next
wise,
step.
That's the next step.
we have, I believe, approximately $176,000 aside at the moment for the project left in the assigned park fund after taking out the money for the roof for here, for this building,
Yep.
and the
Which
money for the engineering fees for the skate park.
And what about the 24 fireworks? Call it roughly 25.
No, those are in our budget.
Those are in
that's
Okay,
separate.
separate, okay.
Yep,
I'm
separate.
just making sure it's
No,
already.
this is, so that
accounted
money came out of what's the assigned park fund, which
Gotcha.
used to be our rainy day fund. Before we were lumped into the general fund. When we were lumped into the general fund, that money was taken and set aside to.
for. And that's
stay-
through June of this year, that's not including
Right.
what might be in
Yeah.
July 1.
Well, that assigned park fund's gonna be there until we use it.
Right,
So, cause that wasn't, like, that's not a part of our normal budget.
gotcha.
That's a separate fund that's been setting aside. Because it was set aside as our rainy day fund.
Right.
When we had our own bank accounts and our own budget, we had to have our own rainy day fund.
Now, when we do the CIP, capital improvement plan, does the signed park budget go away and we just use what's put in there?
Well, the
I didn't
assigned
get a
park fund is
question
just
yet.
because we had a rainy day fund.
Didn't answer.
Instead of just taking it, they gave it to us, so money doesn't go back. We will never put money back into that account. Once that money's gone, that account's gonna be gone,
Okay.
and it'll be gone forever.
So everything else has to go in the CIP,
Correct.
Um,
I'm guessing.
that's more of
I
a,
think.
so,
So like
that's
if we're
still not
planning-
100% figured out yet, I don't believe.
It isn't,
I
we
know,
gotta turn in
because-
something by Wednesday.
By
So-
Wednesday?
Yeah, so we gotta
Okay,
work on it
that's
tonight.
fine, we'll work on it, we'll get it
We gotta
done.
focus on tonight.
But I know, like, I believe the township's gonna give the planning commission about $200,000 this next budget year to put into the CIP across the township as a whole. So,
That's not a lot.
That is
no, it is
a
not,
split.
no, so I don't know, I don't know what the intentions of full usage of that is gonna be at a township level, I don't have an answer for that. So,
I'm just guessing if we replace playground equipment, because at some point it's gonna be, you're gonna have to replace it, that's what,
Yeah, yes.
$200,000?
I'm gonna be honest,
Or
I
more?
can't
Green
stand, I can't
waste,
stand
yeah.
millages, I feel like we're
Yeah.
millaged out in this town, and everything's got a millage, and there's a millage here and a millage there, but looking across our parks, every playscape's over 20 years old. Their life expectancy, according to the companies we purchased them from, is 20 years. The skate park's gone, money's gonna be needed for that. Our walking trails, they're still stone. Our parking lots are still gravel.
Yeah.
the only way I really see that stuff changing in the future is gonna end up being a millage.
And I discussed
Of
this
some
at the
sort.
township meeting, presenting
I-
the skate
Right,
park to
you did.
township, is we may have a rainy day fund and be able to do a single project like this, of this scale, but upkeep and maintenance over the life, we need to either consider, like you said, a millage that will fund replacement or new items such as this, or a millage that is strictly and specifically devoted to maintenance and replacement, not build new.
Yes.
So when
Replacement of
playscapes
what's
go
there.
bad, there's a millage that funds are allocated for, specifically for replacing of things we already have in place. Roofs for this building, playscapes, if the skate park were still there and not gone.
But that's what the CIP is for.
Well, that's still
I
not
mean, we need
figured
to
out.
tell them what we want and, budget it out
And that's
6
never gonna
years.
provide what a millage would in terms
The-
of
No.
the
So-
scale we wanna go
But
to, if you
that's-
want anything to change at these parks.
That's their way of doing it.
That's the reality of it, is
That's
millage
the way-
would
the
need to be
CIP is the
considered
way of
by
doing
the
it
next
without
board that
millage.
comes in.
Okay.
And CIP, the township, from my understanding of talking with people, does not have the funds to replace the equipment across the township in the parks
No,
in a timely manner.
which I've been saying since I was elected in, is there's a fire millages, a
All right.
library millages.
We're already into it.
repairs.
Hey guys, we're way off topic, sorry.
Well,
It's-
No, this is
yeah,
the
yeah.
discussion of this.
It is, yeah.
Is this feasible? Well, with all that discussion, right now, my vote would
This-
be no. I'm not spending over $200,000 in our entire rainy day fund when that's all we have to replace items on 6 pickleball courts for this park. I'm sorry, that's
And
what
a
my
tennis court, and a tennis court.
and a tennis court, which
So,
is not
well-
utilized.
There's really not another project that rainy day fund is gonna come close to funding.
In like a year, these playscapes that are 80 to 100,000 a piece could very. I mean, we
They're
already have problems at White
they're
Park
far
with
more
wells
than
and
80 to 100
things.
thousand a piece.
Right.
Far more. They're
Well-
far more than the cost of.
They're
You're only helping my point.
200,000 a piece right
So-
now, yeah. Things have gone
You're
up.
only helping my point.
But if we turn this over to the township, say we've picked this, we wanna go with this item one, whatever.
Well,
turn
I
it to
don't
one.
believe our job is gonna be to pick what item we go with. That'd be their job.
Oh, to theirs, all right, we can recommend though.
Our job, yeah, I mean, we can. I mean, obviously, I would recommend, personally, I'd recommend the more expensive one. It's gonna cost less over time.
Right,
Longevity, it's gonna cost less.
And less on maintenance too.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like township's not gonna be here in 20 years.
Because like you said, the only difference is the surfacing. It's not the fences. It's
Yes. And you can lower costs of this project. When I was talking with the engineers, I did a few things. I expressed a few things to them that I wanted to see with it. And the biggest thing was I wanted to see a solid base. I wanted it, normally they do a 4-inch base under something like this. We pushed it all the way to 8 inches. You know, and we doubled it because with spending this kind of money, you want it to last. And in doing that, it's gonna cost a little more in excavation in terms of removing material. And more in bringing material in, more time packing material down. So, pretty much everything in terms of engineering, this specific project was thought in trying to make it last generations. So, but the biggest thing is the tennis courts out there are unusable.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're in far worse condition than the skate park was in.
100%.
The only difference is you don't have people running around on wheels on it. So,
These have been unusable for years.
yes.
That's why
And then
I
another
brought it
thing,
up initially on potential replacement of these because they're not usable.
the biggest reason I would like to see it here is because I think it would be something really good for Temperance area in
I
terms
agree.
of bringing people here.
I think it's good for that. I think it's good because there's no other, it's not like 3B's hosting a tournament here with parking. There's 2 parking lots. The most you're gonna have is a weekend pickleball tourney or something, which, okay, it fills the park. The only other people parking here is those using the playscape.
Well, that's why I was saying, you guys need to think about with this skate park, them doing designs, because we're not gonna approve sticking it at Parmalee Park. I'll tell you that right now, that's not gonna pass.
Yep.
You
I can
guys,
tell by the
you
people
guys
here.
heard at the
Yeah.
presentation, we will
Yeah.
not vote. If we're gonna stick that much money into a skate park, it's not going into Parmalee where they're just gonna destroy it all.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was telling Chris earlier, I mean, something you guys need to consider. If you stick the skate park, so get rid of the tennis courts here, put the skate park here at Car Park, and put the tennis courts pickleball at Parmalee Park. I mean, it's gonna need re-engineered, but it's also gonna help save the parking situation, because with 3B baseball, the parking at White Park is a
That's why I
disaster.
kept White Park
And
out
if
of
you
discussion.
throw a skate park over there,
There'll never be a
I mean,
skate
I
park.
know when my boys played 3B, dude, I'd have to park across the street at the bus garage. I mean, the parking is ridiculous over there. And the skate park that presented, I mean, we're gonna get people from Toledo and everything else. It is gonna be busy. And I don't think White Park would be a feasible option.
No.
So that boils down to White Park or Car Park. So if you stick that skate park and pump track here,
We've got other alternatives.
Okay.
We could do the farm field out at Ansted.
again, that's gonna be
That's
like
wide
Parmalee.
open.
it's wide open,
That's
but
wide
it's
open.
not,
You put
Really
in a parking lot off of Samaria,
That's
so they
gonna-
can get in there.
The rough estimated project cost has just
Well,
skyrocketed doing that,
I
because you
know.
are going from ground zero,
Yep.
dirt field,
Right.
to
Right.
Did
putting every amenity in, not
but
just putting it
that's
back in a
just
spot.
what you guys have to, like, I'm just throwing this out there
Right.
before you, like, get dead set on sticking the
Mhm.
tennis courts and pickleball here. You already know the board is not, if you guys say you want that skate park at Parmalee, you know it's gonna fail. Like, you two were there, you
Oh,
saw.
yeah, we know.
So you know it will not
So
pass.
what's up with these engineering fees? The engineering fees got approved though? Or
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Joe
So
Ward's the
it's
only
up-
one who
We
voted
can-
no.
we can
Joe
recommend-
Ward
we
didn't
actually
get it.
never voted on the engineering fees at our meeting. We voted on presenting the engineering.
Which is
Yeah,
what
Which
we
we
did.
presented and did, and they
And
approved it.
they
We approved it.
We did vote on it.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
they
we voted on it.
almost, well, we approved it being presented.
Yes,
Which it was
it
approved.
was a presented.
So it was
and approved.
presented and they liked
And
it.
approved.
Yeah.
by them. They did not like Parmalee though.
Yeah, we-
Yeah, I mean, I
That was
think the
it.
idea that a skate
Yeah.
park gets created or replaced is crazy,
Cause
frankly.
it's
Like,
roughly, I mean, just give or take, it's roughly $800,000.
Yep.
We can put it in stages though. It's like, all right, cause part of what he's doing for engineering, is gonna get community feedback. Hey, what's more important, a pump track, a skate park? They're also gonna, do two or three different options?
So we can
'Cause he
recommend.
There's
just-
site selection
yeah.
analysis, there's community engagement, and then they actually draw, kind of like you've got here,
Yep.
conceptual design, which can be,
So we approve that, but the
Reconfigure.
board,
30 Gs.
the board
16.
will not.
16.
16 Gs.
Yeah, 16. The board is not gonna, if you guys say we want this at Parmalee, it's gonna fail. I'll tell you right now, it's gonna fail. The board will not approve it.
We have another option. We could contact the county and say, how about you partner with us and we put it at Vienna? That way, they've got parking there already. They've got some areas there that it's
got a disc
possibility.
golf course there.
It's
I
a
mean,
good
that disc
hypothetical.
golf course there already.
That's not Bedford's park.
It's not ours though.
No, it's not ours.
It's not ours, but it's in the township.
Do you think the board is gonna spend money on something that's not
Well,
They're
theirs?
ours.
I mean, I guess that project,
Not
so
Okay.
But-
there's 16
If the county,
grand
if the
coming out of
county,
this
if the county were willing to
176.
pay for the skate park,
No, it's already
I don't know.
pulled.
The thing is,
us
if you
paying for the
partner,
engineering, so max, it still is in the township.
if
Yep.
we partner,
So-
the township and the county and the parks partner together, we can probably, because of partnership,
Well, they
we're
wouldn't
more
need us at
likely
that
to get a
point.
grant.
Yeah,
They wouldn't need us at that point, they could just partner together.
Well, they could, absolutely, but the grant, they could get
Oh.
some grant money,
Yeah,
so
I
then
did a
it's
lot
not
of,
gonna
I did a
cost
lot of grant
everybody
research over the week, I can't
800,000.
find anything that is just not, it's, everything I find is low income is the number one, requirement. Low income area.
Either way, so there's $176,000.
Yeah, I did it,
I
when
went
I
on-
first got on the board, that's
Right
what I did. I was, first thing I did was look up skate park grants.
Yep.
And I just-
I went
could never
through three
find
different
it.
foundations
You
and
did
we
too,
didn't
yeah.
qualify
Yeah.
for
I
it.
mean, the skate park will be an ongoing thing, obviously.
Yeah, this is a
that's-
long term.
Yeah, I don't, well, I
The
mean, we're
first
just-
step that needs done is what was approved
Yep.
and what is
We're
moving
gonna
forward.
try for that.
I mean, I'm gonna continue to say no skate park, nowhere, not happening,
Most
but I
likely
was-
when
It's
it
coming
comes
from the
down.
guy who's worried about
That's
getting
why I
egged
said-
from high schoolers because they knew it.
Well, right, no, I mean,
We know where he votes.
They would
No, I mean, just the cost.
Joe Gore said
hates
no.
the kids.
Well,
He
we know who
wasn't
hates
for
the kids
He
in
voted
this
no.
township.
It was a 6-1 vote to approve it. Joe's was the no vote.
Yeah, I mean, nobody skateboards on it, and it just,
It's
I don't know.
not
it's-
strictly for skating though, that's the benefit.
Realistically,
It's
Yeah.
bikes
Right.
and rollerblades too, that's why
This is
going
a
to concrete
concrete
is
one. It's
like.
actually
and,
really
and
nice.
realistically, paying for the skate park, even if you did it in portions, it's gonna end up requiring a millage.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's.
That's why
Which is
that
why
was
I'm
what I
like,
presented and
no
said.
change.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
You gotta
Well,
think big picture and long term.
We
This
could
isn't
fund the whole,
happening
we
this
have
summer.
enough in our fund, we could fund the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's why we,
It's not what I've
You
been
just
told.
wanna hurry
township.
up
The
and.
No, I
township.
know, I've talked to
because
the township.
the sidewalks aren't going in now.
Mhm. It's not what I heard.
So,
But as for this, so there's 176,000 in an account being sunsetted. No other things are being allocated to it now that the skate park engineering
moment,
and
yeah.
the roof thing.
That's all.
So there's
accounted for.
176 left, and we want to present this
To the township.
to the township, and we just need to decide one or two, basically.
Well, we
A or
also
B.
need to consider and decide, like we're
Where?
saying,
Where?
do we consider putting this
Do
and
we keep it
redesigning
here?
this a bit, putting this where the skate park was at
Do we-
Parmley, where there's plenty of parking, and fitting a skate park here, where it's out in the open and exposed, and that design can go here.
Oh, Parley still gets pretty packed.
Yeah,
It
that
does.
was-
Pretty fast.
We're
And the
not
pickleball-
talking,
and the
we're not talking a
pickleball-
20-team baseball tournament with family
Yeah.
though, when you're talking about six pickleball courts and a tennis court.
I don't know, I feel like these courts are gonna bring a lot of people
They-
in. There's,
they
I mean,
could.
there's probably over
They
1,000
could.
people that play
They
White
could.
Park
There's still more
already.
parking at Parmley than White Park on a weekend with the tournament.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and there's more parking here than there is trying to cram it into Samaria or putting it in a cornfield or a farm field that's currently nothing but dirt and going to triple
Samaria would be great.
estimated cost.
Here's my thought on Samaria with the skate park. Put the skate park pump track in and put a mountain bike course through the 10 acres of woods we have there, and do it all with a millage in terms of adding a parking lot. Because once you get rid of the baseball diamond, now you can expand that parking lot in the back without worrying about home runs bashing your windows out.
Like another large picture, long-term
Yeah.
concept.
I mean, that's kind of what the skate park almost is, essentially.
No, absolutely, 100%. But
So,
this is the stage of considering now,
but yeah,
do we rotate these items? Because this design and what we're talking about will fit here or there. That also has the developed parking lot, this has developed parking lot. It has the area to maintain it, this has the, that's bringing in a group that would actually not, we would not worry as much as you would think about graffiti and damage and wear and tear as you would a skate park and pump track and the whole thing. That is why the township board is so adamant against Parmley. These are all, I know we're not voting on anything in this cow meeting, but these are things to consider
Yeah,
before we
no,
do
yeah,
a vote
100%.
on.
That's what I'm saying, you guys need to
When it
think
comes
about
to
it.
what Manikin Smith has given us and the design and the look and layout, I'm with you. If we're gonna do it right, do a tartan surface that lasts much longer and is far less cost to us on the maintenance overall in the long run. It's just, where does this come into our budgeting? Where does this come into the long-term plan? Where's the location of this going?
well, this comes into, when presenting the township board, so I'll have to present it to them. And then at the same
I can
time,
join you like I did at the skate park.
ask
Yeah.
them to fund the extra on the project beyond the $176,000,
Right.
which I think is pretty
Use that
fair.
account and
Because another thing with it, I mean, it
But the
hits.
roof, right?
What?
That's after you take out for the roof, you gotta.
Yeah, we already put the
Okay,
roof out,
all
the
right.
roof's sitting in our account now. The roof's sitting in our account, and
Okay.
I don't have an updated past December for our balance sheet.
I would say it's the 16 for the engineering fees for
So it's,
this
but
account.
that's, I took this and I took the 16,000 off of it.
Okay.
So, which leaves us with that, hold on, I think I'm wrong with that number.
So when we get to our meeting to vote or discuss what we're giving ourselves background information on right now,
174.
we're gonna basically be voting to approve sending this
to
to
township.
township for them to,
Or
or not sending
asking
it
them
township.
to, I would say at a minimum, there's gonna be more cost and engineering fee from Manikin Smith to go and do a site plan at Parmley. If we wanted to see it at that location to do the same type of design. I mean, they could take this exact design and plop it over there. They're gonna charge us to
Yeah, their big thing is. they're
confirm
gonna-
and reconfigure
They're
and
gonna
everything.
have to have their surveyor, yeah, their
Yep.
biggest thing, they're gonna have to have their surveyor come back out, hit all their points, and they're gonna have to
Yep.
go out and walk the site.
So we either fund a
It's
little
probably
more
gonna
to
cost,
get
I
multiple
can tell you,
options.
I believe those portions of it cost us close to $2,000 here.
That's not,
That's,
So,
No,
yeah,
that's not bad at all.
that's not bad.
I could be off a little bit, I could be off a little bit either way.
yeah, I'm not quoting on an exact number.
But, I mean, if I remember correctly, that's about what that invoice was.
Yep,
Well,
All right,
all things to consider.
yeah,
I mean,
we can't vote on anything right now anyway, so just keep
Fair
your,
enough.
keep your
I
mind.
I guess we can still talk for 5 minutes or just be done.
We've got public comment again, so,
We gotta
Okay.
get public comment.
Fair enough, good.
Yeah.
yeah, before our 7 meeting, let's move to,
All right, does anybody have public comment on the tennis pickleball courts at Carr? Anything you to comment on?
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I was just
Name,
thinking,
Yeah,
what it would,
address.
Steve Solinsky, 4540 School Road, Temperance, Michigan, 48182. Originally, we were talking about just the pickleball courts, and now we've added that tennis court, which would be, if we took the tennis court off, there would be a third of the price less.
Probably, yeah.
Potentially.
Quarter.
And our original discussion that was approved was removing, it's 2 tennis courts currently, removing 1 court, putting 2 pickleball in 1 court. And 1 tennis, not entirely removing tennis.
So it wouldn't necessarily shave a third of the cost.
Well, we can downsize this and pay
Shave
Manic
something,
Smith to
but-
redesign some more, and
Yeah.
again, that's another option. Get rid of that area that they're wanting to expand to, shave off 2 of the pickleball courts, we don't need 6 more.
You're a pickleball player, right?
Yes.
Do you need 6, 4, 2?
6 would be much better,
Ideal.
more permanent, because like with, well, there's a dozen tennis courts in the area, and there's only 2
Yeah.
permanent pickleball courts right now. And
By-
what's happening is that the 2 pickleball courts are always being used right now. So we're having to bring temporary nets out. And so somebody has to be there to pull the temporary nets out, whereas if they're permanent courts, you know, then you can hold, if somebody wanted to throw a tournament or something, you need at least 6 courts.
That's not ours.
And so
They're in the area. They are.
that's what we're, why we were looking at 6 courts instead of throwing up temporary nets and that kind of stuff, because somebody's gotta open the box or whatever. So everybody in the neighborhood, if they don't have a temporary net, they're not gonna be able to get into the box. So 6 permanent courts versus the high school's got 8 permanent tennis courts, and then there's 2 more over there at White Park. And, well, I guess they're not.
I wouldn't count these
I
2.
would- yeah, so we're not
And
counting
it-
those, so we got 10. 10 versus 6 pickleball
We have-
courts. Right now, there is way more pickleball players in the United States than tennis players. There is 23 million tennis players and 36 million pickleball players. So there's way more pickleball players, but yet we have less pickleball courts.
A big thing with the more courts, with 6 of them, is to get rid of those temporary nets in that box that we replace every few years and do away. Because pickleball is one of the very few activities that community ed does in our parks.
Correct.
So,
Anybody else want to speak to pickleball?
Just in reference to being here forever and ever, it's just, it would be fair, because I know every single church gym is full of pickleball courts. So it's not that they're not available, they're just maybe not within the perk system. So if anything else, even them up, because things cycle through. One thing's a fad, the next thing's a fad, it's just the way it is. And so if anything, make them equal, and I see nothing wrong with versatility in the portable nets. I mean, they should be able to be there and be set up. We had Mr. Stutz spoke to that when we were over there, to the other park there, and he talked about how that's what they do. You've got to be versatile, you've got to be able to take that spot instead of doing something for one group of people. Our services need to be, versatile. And if they're in that great demand, then we need to have a sign up through Community Ed to where she's booking these courts, so they're not just walk on and walk off type deals, so.
All right, thank you, Gail. Anybody else? No? All right, I think that we adjourn. Start back up here in another minute with our regular meeting.